Welcome to Sanctuary. Let this be a place where the noise quiets and your own knowing rises, where no one on the outside demands anything of you, not even healing, not even goodness or mindfulness, just space, sacred space, to be with what is true within you. Take a moment and let your breath return to itself. And let your body sit however it needs to. And let the voice inside you, the quiet whispering voice of the real you, be heard again. Your presence here is not for a performance or for approval. Your presence here is itself a remembering. Let us begin. Most people think of boundaries as walls, defenses, ultimatums. But in sacred space, we start to see something else, where a sacred boundary is not an act of rejection, it is rather an act of devotion. It is how you protect what is the most sacred within you. Your time in this body on this earth, your clarity of vision, your tenderness, your truth. Now, the outside world, the profane world, will try to tell you that saying no is selfish, that choosing to rest for your own nourishment is lazy, that leaving the room when it doesn't work for you, leaving the job, the relationship when it doesn't work for you is betrayal. But what if the real betrayal is abandoning yourself in order to keep the peace in the first place? Because here's the truth. The sacred no is what is required to clear the space for your sacred yes. The yes to your inner truth. The yes to your bliss and meaning and purpose in life. The yes to the flow of your life finally moving through you, unblocked and unstuffed down. A sacred no, therefore, is not just a survival skill, it is a spiritual practice of the highest order. A sacred no is prayer in action. It is saying, this space of my life is a temple. It is devotional, and not everything is welcome here, and not everything is okay here. There are certain things where it is not okay to do them in a temple. Not because you're cruel, but because you are clear and honest. Right? Said another way, you are allowed to actively protect what is precious within you. And you don't need a crisis to justify it. Right? Setting a boundary doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes it's just soft and silent. Sometimes a boundary is simply a single pause. And sometimes a boundary is simply saying what you're going to do and not explaining yourself any further. Right? But the common thread through all boundaries always begin with one truth, which is you are allowed to choose what you will no longer carry. And so now let me ask you, what about you? Where in your life are you being asked or demanded to carry things that are not yours to carry? Where have you been taught or threatened to say yes out of guilt or fear? Where is your body whispering or shouting no, even when your mouth says, yeah, sure, no problem? Here in our sanctuary, we do not need to justify our no. We don't need to fight and win an argument or make a case to just for the right to protect what is precious within us. We listen and we choose, and we trust that the space we clear within us is holy. and worthy. You may find that the people in your life who benefit uh, from your lowered boundaries and silence will not celebrate your newfound clarity. And that is expected, and that is okay. Your sacred no is not for them. Your sacred no is for the life that wants to be born from within you. The life that only grows when the soil is protected. We call it many things. One of the things we call it around here is the life of your inner beloved, the life of your higher meaning and purpose in life. And so from that life within you that is looking to be born, you can also ask this question of yourself only if you want, which is, where am I being asked from within to set a sacred no in the outer world, so that I can make space for a sacred yes within me? If you want, sit with this question quietly. Let the answer rise without forcing or interrogation. The clarity of this life force within you, of this inner beloved within you, doesn't shout. It simply nods and affirms and reveals. And as we close this session, let me give you my blessing. May your boundaries be quiet and firm and deeply honored. May your sacred no be respected, even when it is invisible to others. And may the space you reclaim return to you tenfold in peace and clarity and joy. There is a deep knowing within you, in your heart and in your body, where you have always known what is and is not for you. Let that knowing become your compass again. Until next time, go gently and let your yes be true, because your no was sacred. Thank you.